Yo, I want to let you in on a quick weekly newsletter. It's a bullet point form email that I send out every week. 5 or 6 things you might be interested in, and I'll never send you spam or share your email. It's just a couple things that I found in the scene. Nothing that anyone's asked me to promote for them. I don't contact any of these people first. I just want to share their stuff. And also, while I'm doing that, I'll be sending you each of the weekly podcasts included in the newsletter. So you can sign up for this by sending me an email at bcugpodcast@gmail.com, or you can contact me on Facebook at Tyler McMillan, or on Instagram at BCUG Podcast, or at Lil Bukkit. Thanks for listening, and buckets up.
Yo, what up? My name is Jump.
Yo, it's Kairos on the BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast.
BC Underground Hip Hop.
BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast.
Along with your host,
My man's Lil Bukkit.
Lil Bukkit, what's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Lil Bukkit. I'm back with the BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast. Today we got a special guest with us. You want to introduce yourself and let everybody know where to get at you at your social media?
Yeah, well, my name is Brizzy. You can get at me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Instagram and Twitter being being at Brizzy BC, and then Facebook just being Brizzy Cleaver. Yeah.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. Now, I want to hear a little bit about your introduction to hip hop. How long you been in the game?
About 5 years. Like, I've been recording and stuff.
5 years, eh? And
Yeah.
what was it that got you inspired to start writing?
Well, I've always kind of written. Like, I've always really been a writer. I didn't always write hip hop. Like, I used to just write, like, I don't know what genre, but I used to sing when I was a kid, so I used to write songs like that.
Oh, you write like songs and shit, eh? Sorry, just
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing my charger here. Phone just popped up and told me that it's fucking dying. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, friggin', basically I've been writing for a long time, but started recording 5 years ago. Pretty much listened to hip hop like I was a kid, starting with like Eminem, the Eminem show. So
Okay.
Eminem, who I grew up on.
Yeah,
So
most of us
pretty
do.
much, yeah, he's pretty much like the person who really got me like thinking that I can rap.
Into
because-
it, eh?
Yeah. So.
And why is that?
Well, because he obviously he's white, and it's the first white guy to be big in the game, and it just kind of shows you that anybody can do it, like anybody can rap, and it's not
He was also the first rapper in general to break the billboards higher than any other artist of any other genre, and control the billboards and be number one. He was the first to do that in hip hop of any.
And even in like the past decade, like he's still going. So I mean, like, I'm not here to like fanboy about him, but that's just basically,
But there's
I just need such an inspiration on how his background kind of relates to mine, and kind of seeing how anybody can really do it if they really kind of push for it. So
that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, and then once I got out of high school, I just kind of decided I was writing for a while, and I started to get into rap a little bit by that time, and thought I'd buy a Blue Yeti microphone and a laptop and start at her.
Nice. And when did you write your first song?
It was 2015. It was probably like the summer of 2015. It was a song called Headshot.
What'd that song sound like?
Headshot, 1, 2, 3. Nobody be fucking with B Brizzy. So when you step to me, you best believe you gonna smell the weed, or something like that.
Dude, that's not bad for your first rap. I think mine was like diggity doo wop the bebop bammer. Everybody knows what happens in the slammer. Like some crazy like 1980s hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
That's really funny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
now,
go ahead.
Okay, so when you got into writing, who was it that you first started writing with? Did you like write all by yourself, or like not writing so much but recording? Once you got your songs recorded, who did you
For the first little bit, it was by myself. Like, I pretty much started all on my own. So basically what happened, so I started rapping in 2015 and stuff, and started recording, and I moved in on into an apartment with a little room for my studio, and I had that going for about 6 months. I quit rapping, so I quit, and I sold everything. I gave up. I quit, right? And then, but up to that point, I did it all myself. It was just me. After that, I was living with my roommate, and I was saying like, man, I should get back into it. I kind of regret selling it all, and that was about 6 months after the fact. And so, kind of impulse decision one day, bought another Blue Yeti microphone, another laptop. I didn't have one at the time, and then set up shop in my dining room with my roommate. And he kind of sat there while I wrote and recorded, and he kind of helped me along with some of the recording process. But for the most part,
a sounding board to bounce off of, per se.
Yeah, so he was kind of telling me, like, once I get my finished product, I'd kind of like see how he likes it and kind of go by that. So
that's pretty cool. That's good to have. That's really good to have.
That was great. Yeah, helped me a lot. There's lots of stuff that I didn't release that I'm glad he told me was not to release.
When did you do your first show?
First show was like 2017, I think. It was for the showcase tour.
Okay, so you did the showcase. Interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear more about that. So what exactly was the showcase tour experience like?
Not very great.
I've heard that from a few people, but not exactly like. I'm sure you don't want to get into exact details and stuff like that.
I mean, it wasn't like the first time it was nice. Honestly, I shouldn't say, like, the only thing that I really didn't like was was that you had to pay in advance to and then you get tickets to sell. And it was just really hard to sell tickets to a show like that, where there's not a lot of people that you really know of.
Well, they don't want to go for a showcase, right? They want to go and see, young Tory. Or
but at the same time,
or
but at the same time, I think it's nice to, like, because obviously a lot of companies get you to sell tickets, and it's nice that they kind of, if you're coming up and you're trying to get start, like, get your first show, sometimes you'll end up paying a little bit and having to just try and sell tickets. It's a good way to learn to try and sell tickets, but other than the tickets part,
an interesting way to do it. I know there are other pay-to-play promotions companies that they have different styles of.
They have different ways of doing it. Yeah,
pay-to-play. Like everybody's favorite in BC, Chelsea Grovins, with Where It's At.
Yeah,
she's well known for doing the pay-to-play route. Some people just can't stand it. Me personally, I never had an issue with it. I did it for 2 years with her, and I mean, I opened for Tech and Snack and Merc all that. So I had no problem.
I like those. I'm cool with Where It's At, and then because they're putting on shows with headliners that people are going to want to come to, and it's super easy to sell tickets for a lot of those shows.
I think that's kind of where Chelsea does it correctly, as opposed to like the showcase tour, where they kind of say whoever can just buy the tickets gets on, whereas Chelsea will say, okay, if it's a big enough attraction, I'll bring them out, and then we can have people buy on for that.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to prove yourself in the industry, and how else are you going to do that, really, by hustling and selling tickets? And a lot of people would disagree with that, which, I mean, I can see both sides of the spectrum, but for the most part, I'm kind of on the side where I'm cool with selling tickets. I just don't want to pay in advance and not sell all my tickets and be paying out of my pocket in the end. But
I think a lot of it has to do with also your environment, where you're at. Like, where did you start doing shows at? Where was that showcase tour?
That was in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, there you go. Look at the market, right? So it would have been difficult for you as a starting out artist just to go to a venue downtown in, say, like, go to the Anza Club or go to the Avant Garden, something like that, and set up a show and say, okay, let's bring out a bunch of people. It's likely going to bring 15, 20 people. Right?
Yeah, and also
you'll learn a lot, but.
Yeah, and also starting out, like, I was living in Chilliwack, right, in Vancouver, and, I had just moved to Chilliwack, so I knew people from, like, I went to school for a year in Chilliwack in middle school, but other than that, like, I moved to Chilliwack and I didn't know anybody. And
Where
how am I
did you move to Chilliwack from?
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick, hey, that's pretty far, man. That's quite a hop. How long were you in New Brunswick for? Did you grow up there?
Yeah, I was there for 8 years.
That's pretty cool. I stepped
out of the military, so we were posted out there.
Yeah, that's just where you were at.
Yeah, so there's actually out there one of the rappers that got me, that kind of got me inspired as well. As his name was Hincher was his name before, but now he goes by Mathematical.
Okay.
And super dope rapper from Fredericton, like
Nice.
Unbelievable rapper.
Yeah, there's a ton of guys out east that they go kind of fly under the radar out here.
Yeah, shout out Mathematical.
That's fire. Mathematical or Matthew Medical?
Mathematical.
Medical, that's dope.
Like mathematical. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
That's a nice name.
Yeah,
now,
but go ahead, sorry.
What would you describe your sound to be like?
I don't really know how to describe my sound. Like I don't know. I wouldn't compare my sound because I have influences, but I don't know. I just without sounding like my ego's really big. Like I feel like my sound is just different where I can't really describe it. And I feel like a lot of people probably feel the same way about their own sound too.
Right. It's kind of like unique almost in a way.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Who do you think inspired the sound other than Eminem? Like, where do you pull some of your inspirations for when you choose beats or say your flow or your delivery?
Mm-hmm. So probably Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne was another, like probably top 3 for me with Eminem, and Hopsin.
Yeah, Wayne's the GOAT, man.
Eminem, Lil Wayne, and Hopsin were my top 3. Hopsin, of course, came in a bit later, but
Weezy's the greatest. But yeah, Hopsin, he's definitely got some unique stuff. So a lot of people, they kind of there's like a hater movement on Hopsin, because he was like a skater, and
yeah,
they think he's cheesy and stuff like that, and his his content is just not real enough or something. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but
yeah,
I think understood it.
I think back in his earlier days, he was putting on an image that he wasn't like he was portraying a wrong image of himself, which was like that skater image. And like I'm sure he skates, like, I don't want to doubt he skates.
Yeah, Sag My Pants was like him rolling down the street on a board.
Yeah, he posts videos of skating and shit, right? But I think on Knock Madness was where he kind of tried to portray, like with Nolly Tray Flip and like couple of those other songs on there, he was portraying that kind of image, and I think that might be where people are kind of referring. But I don't know. I could see people hate on everybody.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's true. Yeah. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about your involvement with this Frazer Valley Music Awards that just happened last night, I believe. Did you go out for that? Yeah,
I was there. I was chilling with JML actually.
JML and I believe Hooper Turned Sanger was there too.
Yeah, Hooper was there. He was chilling downstairs with his homies. And yeah, he performed too. It was dope. It was a dope performance. I've honestly shout out to him because I haven't actually, before that, I haven't really heard much of him. I heard his name, but I've never really listened much of him. And man, like I haven't checked. I'm going to check some shit out because like that performance, man, I was kind of like, I was fucking going, man. And
that's dope.
He wins the award, and I was like,
he's really sick, man. And
yeah, man,
he's also flown under the radar. Because did you know? Yeah. Did you hear talk to him a little bit at all?
No, I didn't get the chance to chat with him at all.
He had a previous alias. He was actually a street ball legend. He was known worldwide for how good he was at street ball, and he would also do kind of freestyle battles in the streets.
Yeah,
and he was just people knew you don't fuck with Ghost, and his nickname was Ghost. It was never Hooper Turned Sanger, so.
Yeah.
He rebranded and started releasing music, and there's a fucking million Ghosts, but there's only one Hooper Turned Sanger, right? So he used his kind of brand of being world, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
He used that and created a brand out of it. So I think it was really smart of him, and it's going to be really dope to see how he builds up from this.
That was probably good because the thing is, if you have a name, for myself, Brizzy, somebody hasn't, if you have a name that a lot of other people have, it makes it pretty confusing, to be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that thought in my head with me, but I've had my name for so long, but it's one of those things where you want to pop out, at least if you do have a name that kind of does that everybody else kind of has. You got to make yourself pop out so people know who the Brizzy is, or
I feel you. And it's not really like there's like a well-known Brizzy, right? Like commercially released Brizzy at this point.
Some bitch, if you search up on YouTube, Brizzy, some bitch that plays with puppets fucking comes up. Brizzy
Man,
voices.
it's so funny if you search up Lil Bukkit on fucking YouTube, man. Because like I spelt it separate, like differently with 2 K's and an I. Because if you spell it like Bucket is normally spelled, you find this like 14-year-old white chick rapping for like a minute and a half, or this like other kid who's like 9 and he's got pizzas on his background and it's his Spotify upload from like last year, and they're Lil Bukkit. They're both Lil Bukkit. I was like, no, you're not. They will not be hitting me with a cease and desist order. But yeah, man. Would you? So I know it's hard for you to describe your sound, but do you think you could see yourself doing like collabs with, or even like doing a show with Hooper Sanger and not having your sounds clash?
Oh, I think for sure. I think I could chop it up on a track with him for sure.
That'd be dope. That'd be really dope to hear.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I have checked out some of your music, but it's always nice to hear how the artist can kind of give you a perspective of how their music is. But I also had Hooper on the podcast a couple episodes ago. If you check back, you can see a bunch of shit about him, get to know a lot more about him.
Yeah.
I got kind of a random question. What's the kind of music that you'd listen to that you think people would be surprised that you listen to?
That's a good one. I listen to a lot of music. Just trying to think here. I listen to a lot of Shawn Mendes.
Really? Yeah. See, there you go. You got me, bro. I had wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, so you like pop music, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, I respect some of it and I like some of it.
Okay.
Right. But
that's interesting to know. So, did you know that you were going to be, or did you like apply for the nominee, or did you, how did that come about? Did you just notice it in the paper, or?
I can't remember how I came across it, but I submitted for nomination.
Okay.
And I was just thinking, like, I never really heard much of the Frazer Valley Music Awards before. I guess it was only the 4th annual one, so it's a pretty new thing.
Right.
I don't know how I came across it, but I submitted for it, and then I got the email like a week before the awards, and it said that I was on the nominee list, and I was like, okay, cool.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's super dope. Super dope.
Fun. So hopefully many more to come.
Get your name out there a little bit more, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it was funny. We've had each other on Facebook, and I've seen that you were popping, but then when they said Brizzy on the nominee list, I didn't put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And then I made a post about Lil Turtle and JML, and JML put up, he's like, isn't Brizzy and Hooper Sanger on here too? I was like, what? Hooper was in the list? I didn't even see him on the nominees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's super dope.
It was pretty fun though. Like there was a lot of different performers and a lot of different genres. It was kind of interesting to see all the different genres kind of in one room like that. So, and
it's all Vancouver local, right? So it's really nice to see that.
Yeah.
What the Fraser Valley's got to offer.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. Now, do you have any upcoming like shows going on? Any kind of drops that you'll be having, like a mixtape or anything?
I do have a mixtape I was supposed to drop on Halloween. I pushed it to December 1st. So far, it's a green light. We'll see what happens on December 1st. Can't guarantee it, but it's called Partly in General, Volume 1. And then I'm working on my album called Disguise, and that's going to be probably mid 2020, late 2020. That's
fucking sick, man.
Yeah.
Now, who do you record with? Do you like work out of a studio? Do you pay for studio time? Like, what do you do? What do you do with that?
So this is where I record.
At your house, eh?
Yeah. I actually just moved into this place, but it was in my room before. So.
And so you sound engineer everything, and do you produce your beats?
No.
No.
I do not do that. That's the one thing that I've tried to do before, but never really got the hang of it as much. I'm using Mixcraft, and it's not really, I guess, the best for making beats. So,
have you played an instrument before?
Yeah, I used to play guitar.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good thing to definitely to transition from.
Yeah.
Drums are a lot easier for some reason for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
if you get one of these things, a beat pad, or I think they're a little pad controller, and then I think you can like basically loop it. Just get like a loop station app or something on your computer, and then use that. Get a DAW, whatever they call it, digital audio workstation, and you get like a bunch of different packs for all the sounds, and you can mess around with that. And I think a lot of it has to do with understanding timing and how to pick, how fast your timing is going to be for what type of beat you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right. Because a lot of people will say, oh, I want this sound, and then it won't translate, and they don't understand why.
Yeah. Word. I feel that.
Yeah. But definitely cool, man. So your shows started around 2017, and how did you progress through your hip hop career to getting to where you were going to debut?
So I did my first showcase tour, which it was actually fun. Like besides the whole ticket thing, it was a pretty fun event. I had some friends there and stuff, so that was fun. But they're just kind of snake with the tickets. But after that, it was kind of like I actually linked up with Tio. You know Tio?
Tealaza?
No, Tyler.
Oh, Tio, of course.
Tio.
Tyler Obian.
Yeah, so I was kind of kicking it with him, like I did a show first. This basically how we met was he was looking for people for his show. So I did a show in Chilliwack, and then after that, I think I bought some beats off of him or something like that. And then I got signed onto his record label, 90s Kids Records.
Yeah.
And then we kind of went through 8 months of that. I wanted to do kind of my own thing, so luckily he was kind of cool about it, and I was able to kind of get out of that and do my own thing. Started Brizzy Records, which is my label. Dropped my album Brizzy, self-titled, and then after dropped Brizzy, I've just kind of been steady working on my flow and delivery and stuff like that with just YouTube beats, just practicing and stuff. So
that's the way to do it, man. That's really dope.
So, but just trying to get some beats together for my album that I'm working on now, and trying to take my time with it. So,
have you considered signing anyone to your record label?
I have an artist. He's not really like signed on. I have a distribution deal with him. His name's Cam Speech. Okay. He actually runs his own label as well out in New Brunswick. So he's a really dope rapper. He's a really dope indigenous rapper, actually, like super friggin' dope, man. Like you got to check him out. Write it down, Cam Speech.
Yeah, definitely will.
Shout out Cam Speech. But yeah, me and him have been working on music for a long time together, and so he's kind of on my label, I'm on his label, kind of like a joint partnership kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of the short version of it.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Sick, man. All right. Well, that's been a pretty dope interview. I think that's it's pretty much about as much as I can get out of it for the intro. We'll definitely have you back, bro. This was sick. I enjoyed having you. If you got anything else you want to shout out real quick on the podcast, you go right ahead.
Just I guess got some new music on the way, but for the time being, check out my SoundCloud. It's posted up on my Instagram and Twitter at Brizzy BC. Pretty easy to find me. Other than that, thanks for having me, man. It was cool.
Fucking right, brother. We'll have you back. Cheers.
All right. Peace out, bro.
Peace, bro.
Yo, what up? This is My Name is Jump.
Hey, I'm Dylan Bell with Logue Files Media.
Yo, this is Lil Turtle.
This is Lil Sparka.
What's going on? It's your boy Hooper turned singer.
Yo, what's up? This is JML.
This is Natty Snaps. Yo, it's Kairos on the BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast.
BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast.
BC Underground Hip Hop.
Listen to BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast.
Love Force all day, motherfucker.
Turtle Gang.
Kairos season, baby.
Get it because you need it.
Watching this, y'all are my people, bro.
Wow.